Hey everybody, hope you're doing well. Just wanted to pull together this quick video regarding preparing your 1099 miscellaneouses that you'll have to file for any subcontractor that you pay over $600 in the 2025 tax year. So if we go here, it's just 4 easy steps I'll walk you through. You don't have to have any fancy software. You don't need QuickBooks. You don't need anything crazy like that. All you need is Excel, or you could even use Google Sheets, which is free. And you need a online banking application. That's all you would need in order to have the information at your fingertips to know who to pay, and then also I guess it's not who you pay, but who you've already paid, but who you need to file a 1099 for, and then the process to do that. Super simple. You don't have to be a CPA like I am. You can do it with just some easy, quick tools that everybody has access to. So, kind of here for as an overview, here's kind of the 4 steps. So, one, you're going to go on your online banking and you're going to download your bank activity. Use it for the checking account that you pay folks out of. So, you go to that checking account, download the bank activity for the entire year, and then that is step one. Then we're going to take that activity, because all that is numbers and a spreadsheet and columns and all that. We just need to format that so that we can summarize the activity. Those are steps 2 and 3. And then what we're going to do at that point, we will have a, by vendor, how many, or subcontractor. Here's the subcontractors that we paid. Here's how much we paid them. And those are the amounts that we need to put on the 1099. So we'll walk through a solution on where, okay, I need to file these 1099s. Where do I do that? And then what's the process once I get there? So this is kind of an overview. So real quick, step one, download the bank activity. So I mean that's pretty straightforward. You go to Wells Fargo, Chase, wherever you bank at. You log in and you download the activity. Um, and then once you have the activity, it's going to look something like this. This is just some example data that I've pulled together in a spreadsheet. So you're going to have kind of the what the details, what's the posting date, a description, the amount of the transaction, and then what type of transaction. And this is going to be a little bit different for depending on who your bank is. But essentially, this is what you're going to download out of your bank account. So once you're here, if we go back, we're going to download. So now we need to summarize and format the bank activity. So what we need to do is sort on the description, because that's where the subcontractor or the vendor who we paid, the payee, is going to be, and we need to sort by that. So we're going to go, and we're basically going to highlight this total data set. And if we go down to the last row, and then we are going to highlight all that, and we're going to go to data, we're going to sort, and then we're actually going to sort on that description, because that's where the payee or the subcontractor, those amounts are. So what we have here, and bear with me. Yeah, so now that we're here, what we've done is we've sorted on this description column. So what we want to do is we want to insert a row, just call that vendor. You can call it payee, you can call it subcontractor. But this is where we want to specify the actual name of the subcontractor that we paid. So in this, we can see, and obviously this is just sample data, and it's just a generic sub one for that contractor. So we're going to go that down. And there are easier ways to do this, but I'm just going to do it this way for the sake of time. You could use a text to columns. You could get fancy like that, but this is sometimes it's just as quick just to muscle through it the old-fashioned way. So we're going to do that. Go down here. 5, 6, 7. We're going to go to 8, 9. This will be the last one. So that's all the subcontractors that we paid. So these are all our subcontractors. You can see we have other sample stuff in here. So these are deposits. We're not worried about that. Payroll, we're not worried about that. That gets reported through something else. So what we've gone in here is through, based on this description, sorted. We've listed who the subcontractor, the vendor is in this column, and we are done with that step. So see how quick this is. Again, don't need fancy software. You don't need to be a CPA like me. You can do this on your own. So now what you need to do, now that you got the data formatted, summarized, we just need to either create a pivot table or you can use sum ifs to get a total by vendor. So if I come back over here, we'll do it a couple different ways. So we can highlight all of this, go to insert, pivot table, hit OK, and then remember vendor, that's the subcontractor, and then amount, that's the amount that we paid them. So now here we go, we have what we're looking for, which is for subcontractor for that whole year, these are the amounts that we've paid them. Obviously we don't need blank because those are the ones that we didn't specify, and so those are not subcontractor payments. So here at this step, we have what we need in order to file the 1099s. So we've gone from our bank account to now we have a summary by vendor. So if we go back over here, kind of our next step is to prepare and submit the 1099s. So we're going to enter your info. We're going to enter the 1099 info, review and submit. So lots of different sites out there to use. One that I use is eFile4Biz. And you can go here, log in, set up an account. Where you go is you're going to add yourself as a payer. And we can just kind of set one up here for fun. And then maybe we can we got that, and then we can add in our name. What's our address? City. All right, we can save that. So get out of that. We need a phone number, so we enter that in there. Then we save that. Okay, now we've set up our payer, so now we can start a filing. And what we're going to do is go here, select form, 1099. We're going to select payer, and we're going to select that Ascend FinTech Solutions that we just set up. Now we're going to select a recipient, which we don't, so we're going to add one in here. And so this is for all your subcontractors. You're going to enter their information. So if they are a sole proprietor, you're going to enter their social security number, their name and address and all that. If they're a LLC and they have an EIN, then you would enter their information in here. Now, if they're a S Corp or a C Corp, then you're not required to file a 1099 for them. So let's just say that they're an LLC, but no S Corp, then we would and then we would actually put the company name in the last name field, and then we could just use this as an example. Country, United States, Roswell, Georgia. And if you enter an email in for the recipient, there is an option that they will not only mail it, but they'll email it to the recipient. And if you don't have their email, you can still email it to them if you don't want to enter their email in here, because at the end of the process, you'll get a PDF of all the 1099s, and then you can go through there, and if somebody needs it emailed to them and for whatever reason, or they don't get it through the mail, then you can use that PDF to email it. So we'll click save, and then you recommended, we'll take that. So we've entered this recipient here, save, okay. And now we've got the payer for this form 1099. We've got who the recipient is, and then basically what you paid him is going to go in this other income. So let's just say we paid him $10,000. We would put that there. You can click save. and then you're done. And then basically once you get to the, I'm not going to submit this because it's just an example, but we can do like a print preview, or you can, obviously you select who you want to send it to, select email, print, and mail, or sorry, e-file, print, and mail. Click add to cart, and then once you do that, you can finish the process. And then what it's going to do for the recipients that you have an email on file, or actually it's going to e-file this, so it's going to go to the IRS and the Social Security Administration. You're going to be all good from a compliance perspective. You'll be able to print it, and then it's going to mail it to the recipient. And then, like I said, you're going to get a PDF of all of the 1099s that you submit through here. So if somebody does need one emailed to them, then you'll be able to do that. So really, I mean, that's kind of the process. Again, just kind of go back through. You just download your bank activity, the account that you use to pay your subcontractors or vendors that you have to 1099. You just kind of do a little formatting and summarizing that bank activity so that you can have a total paid by subcontractor, vendor, payee for the year. And then once you have that, then you're ready to go to a site like eFile for Biz and go through the process of setting up yourself as a payer, and then adding the payees, and then processing the 1099s. So that's all there is to it. Again, you don't need to fancy software, QuickBooks. You don't need to be a CPA like myself. You can bang this out in no time. If you have any problems or need any help, questions, or even complaints about this process, feel free to reach out to me, and be happy to help you. Or if you need more information about Ascend FinTech Solutions, you can go to our website at ascendfts.com. Thanks, and have a great day.